So hello and welcome. In this tutorial I'm going to show you one more time how to create HTML5 banner in Adobe Animate. And right now I'm going to show you what we are going to be doing today. So right now I am on the site prepic and I am going to go with this vector and I am going to provide you this in the description. And also I'm going to provide you my Illustrator file in case that there is going to be some issue with this vector. Maybe it won't be free in a few months. So I'm going to click download and I'm going to go with free download, but you will have to attribute the author if you want to use this commercially. I have my computer in Spanish, but it doesn't matter. And I'm not going to save this because I already did it. So I'm going to hit cancel and I will go to the place where I saved my file. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose extract here. And this is going to give me a bunch of the files and I will go with this EPS file and I'm going to double click and he is going to open me this in the Illustrator. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a new document, so Ctrl N, and I will go with 600 by 500. Later on we are going to scale this down to 300 by 250 because this scale isn't supported by Google Ads, but I don't want to create a tutorial which is going to be so small. So I'm going to start with bigger and later on we are going to scale this down. I will at least show you how you can do something like that. So I will hit create. And right now what I am going to do is I will zoom in a little bit with Alt and mouse wheel and I am going to select some of the stuff. So I'm going to select this one, with Shift I am going to select this one, this one, this one. With space I am going to move a little bit and with the Shift I am going to select this one. So like this, and I am going to drag all of that in here. You can do this one by one if you want, or if you have a hard time selecting them like so. Right now what I'm going to do is I will click on this one and I will right click and I'm going to choose ungroup, or shortcut is Ctrl Shift G, and I'm going to delete these arrows. The same thing in here, shortcut Ctrl Shift G, and I'm going to get rid of these arrows like this. I'm going to do the same thing with here. So right click ungroup, and the same thing in here, ungroup like so, and I'm going to delete this one. I will click on my drop and I'm going to change the color to be black like so. I will zoom out a little bit with Alt and mouse wheel. And right now what I'm going to do is I will go to the window, I will go to the align, and I'm going to select everything like so, and I'm going to align it to the center. And I'm going to close this. Right now I'm going to select this, and with my Shift and my Alt I'm going to scale this like so. I will open my layer in here and I'm going to lock these arrows, so I'm going to be able to select everything except of the arrows, and I'm going to scale it down a little bit like so. Right now we have everything in one layer, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the layer 1, I will go to these 3 lines and I'm going to choose release to layers sequence like so, and right now what I have to do is select everything inside and I'm going to drag it outside of the layer 1 like so. Right now my layer 1 is empty, so I'm going to be able to delete it, and we have 6 layers, and I'm going to provide you this in the description. So right now I'm going to save this file and I will see you in Adobe Animate in few moments. So right now I am in the Adobe Animate. I just clicked the new file and I will go with 600 by 500, and I want to have this as HTML5 canvas, and frame rate 24 is fine, and I'm going to hit create. Right now what I'm going to do is I will go to the place where I saved my Illustrator file, which I'm going to provide you, and I'm going to drag this like so. And we are just going to hit import. We have some incompatibility error, but it only has something to do with SMIC color, which is for print, but it doesn't matter. So I will click import. I'm not going to change anything in here, as it is fine. So like this, and right now I have this in here like so. Right now what I want to do is I want to convert my things to the symbol. So I have hide everything except this layer. I will go to the modify and convert to symbol, or shortcut F8, and I'm going to call this to be symbol 1. And I'm going to very quickly do this with all of them. So this is going to be symbol 2, this one F8 is going to be symbol 3, this one, let me hide this, is going to be symbol 4, this one F8 is going to be symbol 5, and this one, last one, F8 is going to be symbol 6. And right now I'm going to show all of them, and I'm going to select everything, and one more time I'm going to hit F8, and I'm going to call this all, like so. And right now I have only one layer where is everything, and all of the other layers are empty, so I'm going to select them. They are empty because there is nothing in there, and on the layer 2 there is this black dot. So these layers, I can select them, and I can delete them like so. Right now I'm going to double click in here, and I have all of the stuff in here. So what I can do is I can select everything, I can right click, and I can choose distribute to layers, and this is going to give me all of this to the layers. What I am going to do is I'm going to put my arrow down like so. And I'm going to make sure that it is arrows, and I'm going to even rename this to be arrows like this. So right now what I can do is I can start with my symbol 1, and maybe I will go to frame 10 or something like that, and I am going to click F5 to extend it like so. I will go to the next one, and this one I am going to drag to the frame 11. So they are not overlapping, because if they are going to be overlapping, you are going to have both at the same time, and we do not want to have that. So on the frame 11 in this case, and I'm going to click F5 or right click, insert frame, and extend it like so. And the next one I'm going to put one frame behind this one, like so, F5, and I'm going to do this like so, F5, and the last one I'm going to do the same thing, like so, and maybe on the frame 50 I'm going to end F5. If you want, later on you can position them, you can extend them like so, or whatever. You can highlight this and move it, play with it as you want. But right now I'm going to have this like so, and I will have to extend also my arrows, so I will go to the frame 50, and I'm going to click F5. Like so. Right now I'm going to very quickly save my file, so I'm going to hit Ctrl S, and I will have to save this. Okay, and right now I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see what we are going to have. So far we have this kind of animation. Let me go back to the Adobe Animate, and if you want, what you can do is, for example, I can go to this bottle, I can double click, and I am going to be able to hit Q, which is free transform tool in here, and I am going to be able to scale it a little bit if I want. And I can do the same thing for this one, for this battery, so I'm going to scale it if I want, and the same thing I could do with this one, like so. Very well. Right now what I'm going to do is I will go to my scene 1, and one thing that what I want you to see is that if I go inside, in here we have 50 frames. So that means that in here on the main timeline I can go with 50 frames, or I can go with 100 frames, because I want to loop this and then I want to stop this animation. So in here maybe I can go to frame 25, click F6, and I'm going to move it maybe like so, a little bit to some other place. I'm going to click F6 one more time, and I'm going to position it maybe like so, F6 another time, and position it maybe like so. And on the frame 100 I'm going to use this one, the first one, because I want this to start at the same position where it ends. So I'm going to with Alt copy it like so, and I'm going to put it on the frame 100. I'm going to select everything like so, I will right click, and I'm going to choose create classic twin. So right now we have some kind of animation like so. I'm going to click Ctrl Enter, and we are going to have something like this. This movement you can play with it as you want. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the stage, and I'm going to change my color, background color, to some very light tint of green like so. Very well. Right now what we need to do is we need to stop our animation, because you cannot have infinite loop for Google Ads. There is this code which will allow you to do this. One of the possibility is that I'm going to click new layer, I'm going to right click, choose actions, and I'm going to, let me zoom in a little bit, I'm going to type this dot stop, and parentheses like so, and and semicolon, which is optional. So basically this dot stop, parenthesis and semicolon. I'm going to copy this, and right now I'm going to position this little a at the end, like so. And basically this means that this is going to stop the animation after this. And I'm going to go inside in here and do the same thing in here. So I'm going to choose actions, and I'm going to paste my code in here, and I'm going to put my code in here. But what is going to happen is that this animation is going to play for 50 frames, and then it will stop, and this animation will play for 100 frames, and then it will stop. So I will hit Ctrl Enter, and you can see that the first one has stopped inside. Let me refresh it one more time. So this is animating 50 frames, then it will stop, and this is animating 100 frames, and then it will stop. So what we can do instead is we can use a code which is a little bit more advanced, and I'm going to provide you this in the description, but basically I'm going to copy this, and this allows you to animate or loop your timeline more times. So what I'm going to do is I will go inside in here, I will go to this code, I will right click, choose actions, and I'm going to paste my code in here. And basically this means that this number in here is the only thing that is important. And if I'm going to put this to number 4, this means that this is going to loop this timeline 4 times. Okay, and I'm going to put this also in here, so actions, and I'm going to put it like so. And right now I want to loop this timeline only 2 times, because this timeline is twice as long as the first one. I hope that this makes sense, and I'm going to click Ctrl Enter, and right now you will see that this animation will stop together, because the inside is looped 4 times, the outside is looped 2 times, and right now it has stopped. If you wanted to loop this more, you can go with 6 and 3 or 8 and 4, depends on you. Very well. Right now what I'm going to do is I am going to my place where I have this, and I am going to duplicate my whole Animate folder. Okay, so I will hit Ctrl C, I will hit Ctrl V, and I am going to save this. I will close this, and I will open my copy. You do not need to do this like so. Okay, I will have to do this one more time. I am going to delete this, and I am going to duplicate this one more time, like so. And right now this should be working, because I have duplicated it before I have saved this. So like that. But basically you do not need to do something like this. I just wanted to create the copy of my file, because right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale all of these down. So I will go to the more settings, and I'm going to choose scale content. And right now we have 600 by 500, which is the same ratio as 300 by 250, which is supported by Google Ads. So I will click OK, and this is going to scale me the banner with everything inside. So right now if I hit Ctrl Enter, we are going to have the same animation, but it is going to be smaller, like so. This right now doesn't look best. I would make this bigger, but yeah. And but right now I just want to show you how you can export this to Google Ads. And I will go to the place where I have saved this. So in here I have this Animate copy, and I'm going to get rid of everything which is not Animate file, like so. So I'm going to stay with only Animate file. Maybe there is going to be a recover Animate file, which is fine. And I will go to the file, I will go to the publish settings, and in the publish settings I will go to this folder, and I am going to search for my place. So it is it is in here. This is this animate copy, and here is where is my animate file, even though you cannot see it. I will create new folder. I will call this folder to be index. I will go inside and I'm going to call this index. You do not need to call this index, but I am used to do it like so. And one more thing that we will have to do is we will have to go to the HTML.js and uncheck these hosted libraries. This is going to give us our this is going to give us additional file. I'm going to hit OK, and this that hosted library is important for Google Ads to work. And I'm going to hit file and I'm going to hit publish like so. And right now if I go in here, I have this index and I have this HTML file, JS file. This libs is what we have unchecked, the hosted libraries, and we have some kind of images in here, which are because in publish settings we have some kind of setting in here, export image assets, there is texture and there is some other stuff, but I am not going to talk about this right now. Very well. Right now what we need to do, if we want this to work on Google Ads, we will have to add a little bit of code. So I'm going to provide you this in the description. I'm going to copy this, Ctrl+C, and I will go back to my place in here, and on the index I will right click and I'm going to open this with any text editor. I will go with brackets. It is free for download, but you can do this with any text editor, as I said, like this. This is going to open you code. And here you have this meta information at the beginning, so I could put it about this meta, like so, or I'm going to get rid of this right now. I can put it below, like this, and I'm used to put it below, so like this. And the space in here, it doesn't matter, you can have as much space as you want. And all we need to do is change our width and our height. But our width and our height is 300 by 250, it's fine. But if we would have 300 by 600, we would have to change this number. So I'm going to hit Ctrl+S, I'm going to close this. And right now I will go back, I will right click on my index, I'm going to choose send to, and with the first one, and this is going to give me a zip file like so, which needs to be smaller than 150 kilobytes, which it is. And right now I will go to this HTML5 validator, I will hit upload, and I am going to go with my file, so it is in here, animate copy, and I'm going to put this in here. And if everything works fine, I'm going to have everything green. It is, so this should right now work in Google Ads. So yeah, basically this is it. If you like this tutorial, give a like, consider to subscribe, and if you have watched until the end, let me know in the comments. So thank you very much for watching, and maybe I will see you in some next tutorial. Take care, goodbye.